your actions could result in you being revoked and going to prison, you shouldn't do it. If your actions are like, maybe this is something I can get revoked for, maybe not, you shouldn't do it. Do you understand? Because otherwise you're going to be at the prison and either you are, well, first a motion to revoke will be filed. Either you're going to make bond or you're not. If you don't make bond, we'll bring you over dressed in orange. We'll hear it. And either you're going to get revoked or not. And either you'll end up in prison or not. Do you understand? 23 CR 2570B, State versus Joshua Jacob Cannon. Can I have parties announced for the record?
Jason Garrett, Your Honor.
Oakley for fence, Judge.
And are you Joshua Jacob Cannon? Because we're here on a motion to revoke. Because the state is alleging that there are some actions that you did that were a violation of your conditions. Do you understand? All right. So are you the same Joshua Jacob Cannon who was placed on deferred adjudication in 2023 CR 2570B for the offense of aggravated robbery on June 12, 2023 for a period of 10 years? Is that you?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, state.
Yes, Your Honor. If we're proceeding with a number 2, that is the second to last number 2.
Okay.
There's a violation of condition number 2 on or about the 16th day of August 2024. Very County says the defendant Joshua Jacob Cannon and then there commits to the illegal use of controlled substance, namely marijuana, violation number 2.
How do you plead to that? True or not true?
True.
Waiver of any violation.
Any objections?
No objections, Your Honor.
Did you understand by pleading true to violation of condition number 2, the court could find it true, grant the motion, find you guilty, and sentence you to life in prison?
Yes, sir.
Do you understand if you have some sort of an agreement that you worked out with the state, I don't have to follow that. Once you've pled true, I can sentence you to life in prison. Do you understand that?
I understand.
Knowing that you still wish to plead true to violation of condition number 2?
Yes.
Court is finding violation of condition number 2 true. Is there a proposed agreement?
There is, Your Honor. It is denied a motion to adjudicate, continue the individual on the deferred with the amendments to add MRT force and intensive outpatient treatment.
All right. Is that the proposed agreement?
It is, Your Honor.
All right. Let me ask you something. Do you want to go to prison?
No, ma'am.
Then why are you doing this?
I make bad decisions.
No, I mean, here's the thing. You have decisions that you have to make. And on the one hand, your decision is, do I want to do this? If I do this and I'm caught, I can look at life in prison. And then what ends up happening is your attorney has and this is where I've been a defense attorney before. This is where the attorneys are throwing themselves on the mercy of the court saying, please let this judge follow our agreement, even though I don't have to do it. So when you're making decisions and knowing you could go to prison and you're still choosing to do this nonsense.
I've been going to NA meetings. I've been going there for 2 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
So I've been trying to.
Well, but see, here's the thing. You've been on probation since 2023 and you only have two weeks. What have you been doing with your life? Do you have employment?
Yes.
What do you do?
I work for Home Country Waste Solutions. I've worked 60 hours every week.
Mm-hmm. But you find time to do this. So, I mean, I will tell you, and your attorney will tell you, and Mr. Garaham will tell you. How old are you?
20.
You're 20. Do you know how many 20-year-olds are at the prison? A lot. And if you don't want to get your life in order, you know what's going to end up happening? You're going to be at the prison. I will still remember you because I remember all the people who come through here. But you know what everybody's going to say? Oh, well. And this is what I can tell you about the government. The government may not have money to build state hospitals, but they will always find money for the prisons. And whether or not there's supposed to be 5 people in the cell or 2 people in the cell, they will put 5 people in that cell. They will put 6 people in that cell because they're not going to let you just be out here and say, oh, well, you know, it's overcrowded, so we don't have another jail, so we'll just let him be out here. That's not the way it works. And he can tell you that's not the way it works. And if you're drug tested today, are you going to be positive? You need to tell the truth and shame the devil. What are you going to be positive for?
Marijuana. Yeah.
So Here's the thing. I know people say marijuana is not a big thing, but when you're on probation, guess what? And your attorney will tell you this. You're not even allowed to drink alcohol in your house.
Yes, ma'am.
So you're not even allowed to smoke marijuana in your house. If you do, you know what that's telling me? You want to go to prison. So I'm going to give you a decision. And what I can tell you is, you know yourself better than your attorney does, better than I do, better than probation, better than the state does. So I want you to look deep inside yourself and discover and realize whether or not you can complete this probation or not, because you signed up for probation to be on probation for 10 years. So that's 2033. If you cannot complete this probation and you know you cannot complete this probation, just let us know. I will sentence you to 5 years in the prison. Otherwise, I will follow this agreement that you've reached. They're going to give you UAs and they're going to test for levels. If those levels go up, that signifies that you're using, and a motion to revoke is going to be filed, and we're going to be right back here. So those are your only two choices. I'll give you the MRT, the intensive outpatient treatment. I'm going to make you do NA meetings, and they're going to test for levels, or you.
This is the defining moment where everything is on the line for 20-year-old Joshua Jacob Cannon. The courtroom falls into a heavy silence as the reality of his situation fully sinks in. There are no shortcuts, no easy way out. After admitting to violating his probation, he stands face to face with a life-changing decision that could either save him or send him straight to prison. The judge delivers a powerful and unfiltered ultimatum, making it crystal clear that this is his final opportunity to prove he can change. Every word hits hard, emphasizing discipline, responsibility, and the serious consequences of his actions. The pressure in the room is intense, and you can feel the weight of the moment as Cannon is forced to confront the path he's been on. He's given one last chance, but it's not an easy one. The rehabilitation program laid out before him is strict, demanding, and unforgiving. It requires full commitment, constant monitoring, therapy, and repeated drug testing. There's no room for mistakes, no space for excuses. One slip up, and it's over. As the seconds pass, the tension builds to its peak. This isn't just a decision, it's a turning point that will define his future. In a moment filled with pressure and uncertainty, Cannon chooses the harder path, accepting the challenge of change. But the warning is clear and final: this is his last shot. The next time he fails, there will be no more chances, only prison.
You can call it a day, and I'll sentence you to 5 years in the prison. Which do you prefer?
TR meetings.
All right. Have you had a time to internalize that?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, because I will tell you, the state will tell you, I've sent 20-year-olds to prison before.
And Judge, I know he's very emotional right now, but when I've talked with him, he needs help to figure out not doing that. I mean, he takes full responsibility, Judge.
All right, probation. I'll deny the and I'm sorry, probation. Are you recommending this as well?
Yes, Judge.
All right, the court will deny the motion, alternate amending conditions to include the MRT, IOP, and I'm going to want UAs, test him for levels. And he's going to do sober support meetings. In 30 days. And your levels should start going down. Do you understand? Is there anything else you need from the court to be successful?
No.
Judge, often do you want to give those ways?
How often are you, because it's marijuana in his system?
Every 2 weeks, Judge.
All right, so there's going to be UA every 2 weeks until he presents with a negative UA. Is there anything else you need from the court to be successful? All right, we can go off the record. Here's the thing. Everything that you do from here on out, I'm going to help you with your decision making. if your actions could result in you being revoked and going to prison, you shouldn't do it. If your actions are like, maybe this is something I can get revoked for, maybe not, you shouldn't do it. Do you understand? Because otherwise you're going to be at the prison and either you are, well, first a motion to revoke will be filed. Either you're going to make bond or you're not. If you don't make bond, we'll bring you over dressed in orange. We'll hear it. And either you're going to get revoked or not. And either you'll end up in prison or not. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
All right, good luck to you. CR 7417, State versus Kimberly Nieto. Can I have parties announced?
Rick Pena for the state of Texas.
Ron Ross for responding.
And are you Kimberly Nieto?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you review the motion to enter adjudication of guilt and revoke community supervision with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes, ma'am.
Are you the same Kimberly Nieto who was placed on deferred adjudication in 2022 CR 7417 for the offense of aggravated assault with a deadly weapon on September 19th, 2022 for a period of 4 years? Is that you?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, state.
State under violation condition number 41. On or about the 21st day of July 2025 in Bear County, Texas, the defendant, Kimberly Nieto, the defendant failed to comply with the rules and regulations, the work release GPS program, and that the defendant was removed due to a tampering event in violation of condition number 40.
How do you plead to that? True or not true?
True.
State will waive the other violation.
Any objections?
No objection, Judge.
Did you understand by pleading true to violation of condition 41, the court could find it true, grant the motion, find you guilty, and sentence you up to 20 years in the prison and up to a $10,000 fine?
Yes, ma'am.
Knowing that, do you still wish to plead true to violation of condition number 41?
Yes, ma'am.
Court will find violation of condition 41 true. Is there a proposed agreement?
There is, Judge.
Yes, Your Honor, there is. That is to revoke the defendant's probation, adjudicated guilty and sentenced her to 4 years DC.
Is that correct, counsel?
That is agreement.
All right, are you asking the court to follow that agreement?
Yes, ma'am.
Are you waiving your right to appeal?
You're not gonna try to complain about it tomorrow. Appeal.
No, ma'am, I'm not gonna complain.
Are you waiving your right to appeal?
Yes.
All right, the court will grant the motion, find you guilty, sentence you to 4 years in the prison, give you credit for any time served. There's an affirmative finding of deadly weapon. There's an affirmative finding of family violence. There's to be no contact with Gabriel Serda, that's SERDA. And the court will request the therapeutic community to address any mental health issues. Did you review the document entitled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Rights to Appeal with your attorney? Did you understand it and sign it?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, because you reached a plea bargain agreement, because I followed your plea bargain agreement, and because you waive your right to appeal, you do not have the court's permission to appeal. Because this is a felony conviction, you're not allowed to own or possess any weapons or ammunition. If you have a question over what a weapon or ammunition is, you'll need to speak to an attorney. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, you're going to have to make better changes in your life. And when you are released, you are still not allowed to have any contact with that person. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, good luck to you.
One more thing, Judge.
Yes.
You're giving her credit for time served. Would the court consider giving her credit? She went to ISP also, and I don't know if that's part of the automatic
So she was in a lockdown facility.
for 6 months.
State, was that successfully completed?
Yes, ma'am.
All right,
She did EDRF 119 days, and she also did ISF, that was 19 days.
all right. Well, legally, I have to give her credit for that, so I will.
Thank you, Judge.
You're welcome.
Yeah, good luck.
As the hearing comes to a close, the weight of everything that just happened still lingers in the air. What seemed like a routine violation quickly turned into a life-altering moment, proving how fast things can spiral when one wrong decision is made. This wasn't just about rules being broken, it was about accountability, discipline, and the reality that every action has consequences that can't be ignored. The intensity may settle, but the message remains powerful and unforgettable. For Joshua, this isn't the end, it's the beginning of a difficult and demanding journey. The path he chose won't be easy, and it will test his commitment every single day. Every step forward will require focus, sacrifice, and real change, because the margin for error is now gone. One mistake, one bad choice, and everything could come crashing down instantly. That pressure doesn't disappear, it follows him long after he walks out. At the same time, the outcome serves as a reminder for everyone watching. Opportunities to fix your mistakes don't come often, and when they do, they come with serious expectations. This moment shows that change is possible, but only for those willing to put in the effort and take full responsibility. Because in the end, it all comes down to one simple truth: your choices define your future, and sometimes, there are no second chances left.